What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the show. We are so excited to be back in the studio. We're excited to have another episode, especially this episode that's coming. It's really, really good. So before we get to that, we thought we'd check in, update you guys as to what's been going on in our worlds.
It's appropriate.
And check in, right, Dal?
I'm all for it, dude.
All right, awesome. Oh, well, it has been a wild month. I think that goes unsaid, but maybe just to let the audience in on why it's been wild, I'll just throw it out there. A lot of you guys that follow me on Instagram and whatever know that recently I had to move. Okay, now that meant moving the whole studio, as well as all the other rooms of the house.
The whole house was moved.
Also the cats, my girlfriend.
She was moved as well.
She was moved as all the food in the fridge had to come too, Dal.
Eggs included.
And yeah, so
it was a lot of work, dude.
It was a lot, dude. And we're in the new crib. It took forever to get the internet up, but we got the internet up.
We're in the new studio right now for the audience listening.
Yeah, we're in the new studio. We've got work to do, but we're here, and that's what matters, and we're excited about it.
We're super excited. And should we tell them how close we are to the beach or no?
Yeah, I think so.
You want to tell them
sure.
how close are we?
Yeah, so
I can see it. I know that.
Yeah, so
I can smell it.
We got ocean views at this house, you guys. We're Mariah and I are we're living a good life out here.
They are.
Yeah, and basically, if I walk at a very casual pace, it's about 6 minutes from my porch to my toes touching the water.
The actual water.
The ocean, yeah. So not bad. We're doing all right. And
okay.
The cats are settling in nicely, but it has meant taking a breather from the show.
It has.
I mean, this is the first time we've been on the mics in fucking weeks.
Yeah, dude. It's been a minute.
It's been a while, man, but it feels good to be back. It feels good. Feels good to be back.
It does. It does feel good. And so now I feel obliged to give an update about me.
Of course, yeah.
Just trying to figure out what that is.
Sure.
A little bit. I mean, obviously I've been helping Jerem move.
Yep.
Right? There's been a whole bunch of stuff going on there.
That, by the way. Yeah,
of course, dude. Jerem supplied pizza, and me and a friend helped Jerem move. Beautiful time. Beautiful time.
Beautiful time with friends.
You know, maybe you get to that dolly story about how you guys dropped the dolly out the truck or something.
Oh, my God.
That's priceless.
I forgot all about that.
That made my day. That made my day.
Yeah.
But I mean, as far as the update with me goes, I've just been along for the ride as well.
Yeah.
You know, the studio's our studio.
Yeah.
You know, so not having it was just difficult for me as it was Jerem. And Jerem moved in here, had no internet.
No internet.
Right. It's hard to, record and upload. And I don't know if you guys know this about Jeremy, but he works from home sometimes.
Yeah.
From the internet. He works from the internet home.
Not having the internet was, actually the worst part. It sucked falling behind on work, not being able to do any podcasts, but the worst part, dude, is that the movies I wanted to watch, like I'm like, ooh, I'm in the mood for that movie, only existed on my web-based platforms.
On Vudu or something?
I have 900 DVDs. And the movie I wanted to watch the most was on Vudu.
What movie was it?
Nocturnal Animals.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is that the one with
Jake Gyllenhaal?
Jake Gyllenhaal, yeah.
I wanted something gritty, dude.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Anyways, so that was that.
That was that,
It
man.
sucked.
He's got internet. We got a studio.
Yeah.
We're back in the studio.
Back in the mix.
Mics are hot.
They're hot, dude.
Skillet's warm.
Skillet's warm.
We got a beautiful episode coming up.
Yeah, we do.
And I think the audience is really going to like it, really going to enjoy it,
yeah.
really going to relate.
Feels good to be back, and for this one especially. This one was one very near and dear to our hearts.
Very true.
I'm really proud of this one.
I am too, man.
Yeah.
I'm proud of this one, and I'm proud of this person.
Me too.
Right?
Yeah, man.
That's why maybe it feels so right. It's just such a wheelhouse episode.
Wheelhouse.
It's just authentically us.
Yep.
And we wouldn't want to deliver you guys anything else but that.
Love that, dude. That being said, you guys, the episode tonight, we're really excited to get there. But first, I want to get a quick word in from this episode's sponsor. That is our good friend Dane Berg. He's got a company with a couple other dudes called Shield Clothing Co. Okay, now, I don't know about you guys out there dealing with COVID and stuff, but I know for me, there have been so many times, Dal, where I have gotten in my car, gone all the way to the grocery store. I got so much I need to buy, dude. And I always go to the grocery store when I'm already hungry.
It's last minute.
I'm in a delicate state of mind. I get there, I get out of my car. What did I forget?
You forgot your mask.
My fucking mask, dude. I tell you what, dude, I had to go get some blood work done the other day. I'm so pumped, dude. I got health insurance again. I'm going to get my fucking labs done. Of all the places to show up without your mask,
the hospital
is not on that list. Right? Okay, so we've got this thing. Is that I keep forgetting my mask, and not only that, when I do remember it, I'm putting it in my car, I'm putting it in my pocket, I'm touching it, it's touching my keys, it's touching all this other stuff that it really probably shouldn't be touching.
Probably shouldn't, especially depending on what kind of mask it is. You know?
Exactly, dude. It's getting
a
all
little
grimy.
disposal throwaway.
Yeah,
it's like,
dude.
man, dude.
Come on.
That's the last thing that needs to be in your pocket.
Not to mention, Dal, I'm re-wearing the same one. So where does Shield Clothing Co. come in to help us out, bro?
Dude, so they come in what I would say is an extremely clutch way. So essentially their product is a shirt, and in that shirt, in the back of where the collar is, as long as you're wearing this shirt, you also always have your mask.
Sick.
Which is like brilliant.
Brilliant. I
will add that I absolutely despise that this has to be a thing, but I'm so glad that someone came around to make this easier for us.
I do like that, Dal.
If you have your shirt, you have your mask. It pulls right out of the collar.
Yeah.
You tie it to your face.
Yeah.
When you're done, you get back in your car, you take it off your face, put it back into your collar, take your shirt off, wash it, dry it, clean it, whatever.
You got a clean
You have
mask.
your mask, you have your shirt. It's always there. The bullshit's over.
Okay, so let me break it off, Dal, how this came to be.
Break it off, man.
All right, so check this out. Shield Clothing Co. was incepted when basically one of the co-founders, John Chazen, was experiencing that stuff we were just talking about. Heading to the store, forgetting your mask, not knowing where it is, right? It was blowing up, dude, and that stress, that anxiety of not having your mask is too much. You know what I mean? So John was exhausted. He had towels in his car to sub in as masks, and that supply was running low. And so basically, with a solid team of equally frustrated partners, the idea for Shield Clothing Co. was born. Shield Clothing is the only clothing line with masks built in. Where do you put your mask when you're out to eat, Dal? You put it on the table, you put it in the pocket with your keys like we've been saying? No, dude. With Shield Clothing, they solved that problem and built in a pocket at the collar to safely and sanitarily store your mask every time you don't need it and have it easily accessible when you do.
Dude, so guess what? This is the best part. Shield Clothing is offering exclusive discounts on their Kickstarter where you can nab a shirt for 30% off of retail prices. So go ahead and visit shieldclothingco.com. That's shieldclothingco.com to learn more. Shield Clothing has you covered.
Beautiful. So that's a word from Shield Clothing. Dal, we've got Rochelle's episode tonight. I'm super excited for it. You ready to dive in?
Let's dive right in, man.
All right, man. Let's cue the music.
Cue the music.
Hello.
Is this Rochelle?
Hi.
Hey,
Yeah,
it's Dallas and Jeremy from the Betterment Bros. How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
We're good.
We're good. Hi, Rochelle.
Right?
Yeah, it's good to talk to you.
Hi. I know. Good to talk to you guys.
Hey, sorry we were late. We had technical difficulties as always. This stuff's crazy.
Oh, it's all good.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to record a phone conversation and record us all at the same time. So we're here. How are you?
I was kind of wondering how that worked.
Yeah, dude, it's difficult.
I bet. I'm overall pretty good.
Doing pretty good. There we go. Okay. Well, hey, you
Yeah.
just celebrated a year sober, didn't you?
No, I'm
You're
about
about
a
to.
month away.
Oh,
A
it's
month
11
away.
months.
Okay. A month away. So what day is that?
August 12th.
August 12th.
August 12th, okay.
We'll put it on the calendar and make sure to get you a shout out there on the social media.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, dude, that's so awesome. I was excited when you sent the email, obviously, but I was like, wow, that new car with the Betterment Bros on the dashboard. I like that.
That was pretty sweet to see that, dude.
My gosh, I was so excited about it.
Yeah, I gotta be honest. Like when I saw that, I felt like, you know what, man, we made it.
Yeah.
You know?
It's funny.
Yeah, no, that felt really good. But so anyways, Rochelle, me and Jeremy have both read the emails and we have, I would say, I think we should have a conversation about it and kind of figure out where you're coming from. Not that it's wrong at all, but just maybe give you kind of like some feedback on making a big decision like you're making. And then especially with the world being the world that it is today, you know, there's a lot of moving parts and everything like that. Like you said, the big idea is kind of figuring out where to go and why to do it and what that looks like. And, you know, I think me and Jeremy and I have, I would assume, two different opinions maybe, or just curiosity.
That is what got me nervous. You saying that is what got me even more nervous.
You were
really?
looking for a unanimous, like, yes.
Well, no, not necessarily, but I think because the first email you were like, oh, yeah, that'd be amazing. You'd be great. And then the second email was, well, Jeremy and I have two different opinions. And I was like, well, fuck, what's his opinion then?
Well, I'll tell you what.
I love that.
This is a perfect place to segue. So, Rochelle, for the audience, okay, we got your email, so we know kind of the situation, but I was hoping that you could just kind of briefly recap kind of where you're at and why we have you on the show so that the audience has a little bit of context.
Okay. So I have since 7th grade, I think, or about somewhere around there, have wanted to be in the line of work where I'm helping others. And immediately after I graduated high school, I jumped into that and started, specifically speaking, special need adults, children, whatever it may be. But I immediately started that, and I've been in between working with special need adults and elderly for about 5 years now.
Gotcha.
And I'm kind of, I love it, and I get a lot out of it. There's a reason why I've stayed with it for 5 years.
Yeah, of course.
But there's also a part of me where, especially after, I went through treatment, and it's been a year now, I'm getting to a place where, okay, I'm making changes, but I need to make more changes that are going to help me and benefit me and give me more of what I want out of life, and a career that I absolutely love, but is also good for me. So when I was at Elevate, I definitely thought about training the internship a lot, but at that point, I also was, kind of a little naive, and I thought, well, I'm not drinking anymore. I'm not being stupid all the time. Well, I'm going to do better at my current job, and I'm going to do well with my family, and I get to hang out with my nieces and my boyfriend and my friends, and everything's going to be great. In a sense. And I also kind of felt like, hopefully this doesn't sound bad, but honestly, I felt like I was lucky enough when I went to treatment that I still had stuff to come back to. I had a home. I had a job waiting for me. They knew I was going to treatment. They were very understanding and super happy, proud, all of that. I had I wasn't in any legal problems. I didn't, I had my license, so all of these things. And I just thought, once again, just going back to, I was kind of a little naive at that time, just thinking like, oh, things are going to be good. And this is something I'm interested in, but also at the same time, I was still doing what I've done for years and years and years,
Right.
which is running from fear. And that has been something that holds me back so much. And that's something that I now know that I can overcome. And it may be hard, but so that's where I was about a year, right under a year ago when I was in treatment. I wanted to train and I wanted to help people and in that line of work as opposed to what I was doing at the time. But yeah, I was, running from fears, naive, thought things would be a lot better than what they were. And not that things were horrible once I got out, but
just wasn't as sweet as it sounded.
Yeah, and then another part of me almost felt like I'm the type of person that if someone, I guess, tells me something, I have to figure it out for myself. I'm not going to go off of what
that
someone
makes
else
three
says.
of us.
Yep,
So,
that makes three of us.
Yeah, for sure. I was more like, okay, I need to go. I don't like, and I know at Elevate they don't like or the saying the real world, but I kind of felt like I needed to go back out into like my life prior, in a sense, clearly not the same, but and figure it out for myself as opposed to staying in the safe space that I know that I would potentially, be really comfortable, safe in. I almost felt like I needed to figure it out for myself at that point.
Of course.
And now, coming up on a year sober, obviously I did. I stayed, I used the resources I had and stuck away from things that I needed to, whether that be friends or events or whatever it may be. And now a year later, all that has been, I'm telling you, the amount of dreams that I have had about training at Elevate and the thoughts that go through my head all the time about the what if. What if I would have stayed? What if I would have trained? What if I would have moved past that fear? And I didn't. And then, in the past, I would say couple of weeks, it just constantly was weighing on my heart. And I reached out to some people close to me and they were like, my cousin specifically said, like, the second that you started talking about this, I saw this like glow and spark to you. And I was like, well, yeah, I've thought about it. I've just always been too scared. And then here we are. This is all that has been on my mind since, realistically, the past year it's been on my mind, but here recently it's all I can think about and all I want to do. And there's so many reasons behind it, but that's basically where we're at now. This is what I want, and I need advice and feedback, and I need to take that step,
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I appreciate you painting such a perfect picture. Like, I feel like that explanation right now was even better than the email.
Yeah, me too.
I feel so filled in.
Yeah, I feel like in the email there was looking back after you made the comment that you and Jeremy had the different opinions, I was like, okay, maybe in the email I didn't really explain too well as to why. And I could still give so many more details as to why.
Yeah.
But, better details than what I gave, I guess.
Yeah, of course. Well, I guess, I think the first thing that comes up for me is like, I think it's like a total positive thing what you did to go back out to the real world, as they call it, we call it, whatever you want to say.
In quotes.
In quotes.
The real world, yeah.
And you went out there, right? And like what it sounds like to me is you went back to your old life thinking that's still what you wanted, you know? So as you get sober, your goals kind of change, right? So your old life, yes, it's good. Yes, it's not terrible. Yes, you like it. And, you know, not talking about like the quality of it, but just in general, right? Like you created that in the past and then you went to treatment, like you said, and evolved. And then so going back to it is like, it's good, but it's not good enough because now you're growing as a being and you want to have so much more. So I think that like that in itself is such a huge win because I'm sure Jeremy could relate to this as well. But every year that we're sober, we grow more and more and more, and we want more, and our dreams get bigger, and our bank accounts get bigger, and everything just. Jeremy kind of shrugged that off, but you know, you get what I'm saying, right? It's like we continue to like evolve and adapt, and that is like because of our recovery.
Yeah, for sure.
So I think the first thing, what I'm trying to say is like you doing that is so positive, and it proves to you more of what you do want, right? Like that's what I keep hearing you say is like, here's all the freaking reasons why I want to do this. And I know inside myself that I want to help people. So I don't think Jeremy's not sitting over there like, yeah, you don't deserve to help people or like you shouldn't help people. That's not it at all. I think he was just more curious to help explore what it is specifically and see if maybe there's even a better option.
Yeah. So I, you know, in the email and even kind of what you just described, the difference in opinion between Dallas and I isn't necessarily whether or not you should work there. But what I wanted to explore with you, if you're open to it, is some of these kind of glaring things that are standing out to me. So when, you know, I work in the treatment world too, and when I'm working with people that are working on their continuing care plan or their discharge plan, whatever you want to call it, and they say, oh yeah, I want to get this job because I know I'll be really happy. I want to do this because I know then I'll be really happy. And that's always, there's so much truth to that. I mean, there are times where you get a different job and it makes you really happy because of the environment and the team and the purpose and all that. There is so much validity to that. But also, I don't want to hinge your happiness on a job all by itself, right? And so as you were talking, I was writing some notes, and I just thought we'd ask a couple of questions and kind of explore them, the three of us, and kind of see what comes to light. The first one was, you kind of mentioned a few times this fear that you had and the fear that kind of like held you back, and it had notoriously kind of done that. And, you know, for the last year or almost year, you've been kind of like being with like, wow, like what would it have been like if I didn't like pander to my fear? And so I'm wondering if you would be willing to share with us a little bit of what that fear is. Like, what were you afraid of that stopped that from happening when you left?
So, I mean, along with, you know, thinking things would be different than what they were, I think the biggest thing is that I sometimes think about other aspects of my life, or at Elevate, the Wheels life. And I think if they are good and if I make a decision that could impact another one of those areas that are doing good right now, and it could potentially take away from that, then it worries me, because I'm like, why would I, you know, don't mess up a good thing. Why don't fix what's not broken, in a sense. So I think my biggest thing was, you know, I didn't want to not be able to see my nieces and my family and have like privacy, as opposed to living in a house with a bunch of people. I didn't want at that time to give that up for something that I was still unsure of at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess the more time that's gone on, and especially here recently, when I really, really started thinking about, well, like, I actually want to do this, I've realized the things that would change or potentially change, and then the things that 100% would change. And now, where I'm at, I feel comfortable. I'm okay with giving those things up, or those things changing, because it is something that I feel so passionate about.
Awesome. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I love that. I think you know what you want, Rochelle.
Yeah, that's great.
Which is very like I like it a lot because there's just so much uncertainty in the world, and there's so much uncertainty in recovery and life and plans, and it's almost more rare when someone's like, dude, I fucking know what I want to do.
Yeah, for sure.
And I know how that feels
sure.
to know that you want to do that, because me and Jeremy have felt that way about this show.
Mm-hmm.
Like the same way that you're speaking about what you want to do is how we speak about this show. Like it's just something that we know we want to do and should do and will do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I think the other question I had that I was curious about, just because this is something that we kind of pull on with everybody we work with, is you mentioned that things right now are good, but they're not as good as you would like them to be, or maybe like, you talked about how you got back to your house and your job, and things are good, but it's not great. And I'm wondering, what do you mean? Like, what specifically isn't, like, if things were where you wanted them to be, what would that look like compared to where they are?
Well, there's the family and relationships part, and then there's the work part. So with people and that are close to me, some people, I feel like I'm sure you guys have heard this a lot, and you've probably even said it a lot, but you went through all this work here, and the people at home did not. So I feel like I went from either ignoring things, not ignoring isn't a good word, kind of
like neglecting things, maybe?
No, if things got, like, conversations got to a point where I wasn't being heard, or they weren't understanding what I was saying, I would just shut down.
Right.
And now, or basically my communication skills sucked. And now I feel like I overly communicate, and I communicate 10 times more in depth than the people that I am around sometimes. Mm-hmm. And I think that has been the biggest thing when it comes to people. The way that I'm able to, and even when I was in treatment, I probably didn't know, I know for a fact that I did not always think this way, but especially now with everything going on in the world, like the things you guys talk about all of the time, finding gratitude, being okay with what is going on, finding the good in a shitty situation. I was the queen of excuses, and the world hates me, and everyone blah, 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 blah. And now I'm able to recognize things that are happening, and I'm like, dude, yeah, this sucks, but am I alive? Am I well? Am I good? I'm good. But would life be better if this wasn't happening? Probably. But am I going to sit here and dwell on it, or can I do something to make this situation better, as opposed to, being Debbie Downer? So that's the big kind of takeaway with, like, people and the people close to me, or just in general, that has been a big eye opener for me in the past year.
I love those reframes, by the way.
Yeah,
we just had
Rochelle,
to call
I mean,
it.
yeah, I think you can officially take over as the host of the Betterment Bros podcast. I mean, that's like the, I don't know what to even call it. Like, you've passed the test, you graduated Betterment school. You know what I mean? Like, you could put the plaque on your fridge or whatever. Like, that's a beautiful, beautiful reframe. I mean, shit. Yeah, that was awesome. Like, we were listening to you like, damn, dude, like what?
Just reframing.
Yeah, just reframing. That's awesome. Okay, well, that answers that.
That answers that for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was there more that you wanted to add to that, Rochelle?
The job part of it was
That's a big one for you, right?
I think in the maybe in the email or the question you just asked about if things would have been different, what would they look like?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I have taken a lot of time to obviously think about the past years in this line of work. And like I said, working with special needs has been something that I've been very passionate about. You could talk to anyone in my family and friends. They know, like, I've wanted this since I was probably 12, 13 years old. And yeah, I could definitely probably dive deeper and try different companies and programs and things different than what I have been doing.
Mm-hmm.
But in the past year, since getting sober and realizing, you know, I feel like some people, and especially like when I first got to treatment, I felt like people looked at me like, girl, like your rock bottom isn't shit compared to mine. And I'm like, everyone's rock bottom is different. And
Suffering,
just
you know?
seeing how, yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And seeing the things and the stories, I mean, from you guys to when I was there to since I've gotten home, like how bad things got with others and then how they've been able to grow from it, and then just experiencing my own like struggles and how I have changed and grown. And then here's the big part is that, you know, my dad is in long-term recovery as well. So I got
There we
that
go.
oh my gosh, Dallas, your dad and my dad are freaking twins. I listened to that episode the other day.
Did you?
And I was like, holy crap. Like how more like similar could the two get?
Wow.
But anywho,
Probably not.
so I got
Probably
him.
not any more similar. That's so cool.
Honestly.
It sounds like we'd get along with your dad then.
We would.
Oh my gosh, I've thought about him being on the podcast too. I gave him the link and everything the other day, and I was like, you have to listen to this. You have a long lost twin in Florida.
Yeah. Dude, we might have to do like a father-daughter episode or something.
Yeah.
That would be so cool.
Oh, that'd be sick.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
He'd probably he hits his points a little. You know what? Actually, no. We both kind of ramble on and take a long time to get to where we're going. But you know, we
So
mean
do
it.
we, you know?
You mean it, and
There's
the
a
journey is
point.
worth it.
That's right.
But anywho, so I got him. I have loved ones, people close to me that have struggled and still are. And me watching this in the last year, and then, you know, you see the stuff on TV, you hear the stories on social media, and those ones get me. But what gets me the most is the people that I love and care about that are still struggling. And I know that I have to find a healthy medium between taking care of myself and wanting to help them. But at the same time, I want nothing more than to see them get sober and better themselves and ultimately, you know, live and be the ways that, I mean, I don't think anyone's going to go back to how they were before they were using completely. But I'm saying, like, the person that comes to mind, I just want nothing more than this person to be happy and healthy and alive. And if I can be a part of working in a field where I can watch that happen and be a part of that happening and being in the environment where those changes, I mean, people who go to treatment, most of them want to make that change. They're there for a reason. And I just feel like, although working in the other field is something that I've wanted for so long, in this last year, I can't even comprehend the way that I feel about working with people and addiction and treatment and recovery and helping them get to that point and better their lives, as opposed to what I was doing. I feel like I have more to give than what I'm giving, and I want to be there to witness and help people make these changes. I mean, we all know that it's possible, and I just want to be a part of it.
Well, I think we need to make you a part of it, you know? I think if I was like the HR director, I'd be like, yeah, come in tomorrow.
Yeah, you want to run the joint?
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Hey, my bags are packed. I'm ready to go.
That's awesome.
There we go. Well, yeah, I think it's beautiful. You know, it's like in recovery, you need the experience of recovering to share it, you know? So it's like what I'm hearing you say is like you've had this long earning. Is that the word?
Yearning.
Yearning.
Yeah.
Yearning. You had this yearning, earning. Oh man. So you've for a long time wanted to help people, and you've been doing that, right? And like helping is a very broad word, right? Like we all help people to some degree, or you know, greater or lesser degree. Like you could make tacos for somebody, and you're like helping somebody get food, or you can sell someone a car, and you're helping them get a vehicle, whatever. Like we all help people. So I think it's cool that you're just recognizing a path that you want to take specifically, you know, like I don't think, you know, I think you've hit the quality, like, you know, deep down in like the core of your being that you're here to like help and serve. And I think what's more coming up is you're finally figuring out the perfect way to do it.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
And so I think that's beautiful.
For sure.
You know, a lot of people a lot of people spend their whole life trying to find what you're talking about.
It's very clear to the both of us, to all three of us, that your heart is in it, that you're purpose driven, that you've recognized this calling. I mean, I remember when I was in treatment, I was there for like a month, and someone pulled me aside and they were like, dude, you should like do this. Mm-hmm. And it was like, oh my God, that's what I'm going to do. Like, this is what I'm going to do. That's it. That's just what I'm going to do. And here I am, you know, 11 years later doing the same thing. And so I do believe that you're answering the call. And I think you acknowledging that inner wisdom, that insight, that intuition is amazing. That's like owning your power. That's embracing that voice. And that's so important. And we don't do that when we're out using. Right? We know we know what we're doing is fucked up, but we're like, yeah, but like I'm gonna get fucked up. Like I'm just gonna do it, you know? But so what I would it's not that I want to caution you, it's that I would give this advice to anybody about to get into this field.
Yeah.
And what the advice is that, like, working with people with special needs, like, I've never done that. I've volunteered like little bits, you know, and it's very tough work. So it's not that I think anybody is incapable of working in the addiction field. What I would like to add as a caveat is that one thing that I've seen happen, Dal, I'm sure you've seen it too, is like people in treatment, they see the one side of treatment, which is like being in treatment. And that is, it's not like a pretty sight, because you see people like digging into their shit and, you know, uncovering the shadow, and, you know, you see people dip out sometimes, you see people hook up sometimes, like, you know, there's a lot of stuff you see when you're in treatment. When you're on the other side, you see some heavy shit. And so it's not that I'm trying to steer you away. It's more that I just want
to be practical.
I've seen it where people, you know, they're kind of wide-eyed for working in rehab based on their experience in rehab, right? So when I was in treatment, I was like the easiest client in the world, dude. Like I was every counselor's dream. They're like, Jeremy, how are you today? And I'm like, dude, I'm so fucked up. I don't know anything, you know, like, and so like, I was very easy to work with, and I was wide-eyed for treatment. And I remember like I graduated and, you know, I started training and like a month in, a guy I was in treatment with relapsed and he messages me on Facebook. And I went to rehab one time. So I was very naive to the addiction realm, right? And
felt like it doesn't work for everybody like that.
yeah, like I didn't
Yeah.
know that. I didn't like it wasn't real to me yet that people could relapse like right after treatment. Like I thought you go to rehab and you're good.
Like you're cured.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? And so he relapsed, right? And I'm like, "Oh my god, like dude, it's only been a month. What are you talking about, you know?" And then he starts doing more. Long story short, he ended up passing away. And
Oh, shit.
and that's a part of the game. And so the reason I'm telling you that isn't to like scare you out of it or like, you know, say you've got to be tough to be in this field because, you know, like I'm not tough and here I am, right? The reason I'm saying it is because I want you to have a realistic expectation of what it is to be on this side of the game. And what it is to be on this side of the game is seeing people you care so deeply about in deep, deep pain and suffering, much like what you said about the people in your life right now, right? Like you see them and they're suffering and you're like, dude, fuck this. I'm going to join the battle, dude. I want to be on the front lines taking heavy fire. And so the reason I'm saying this is because there is heavy fire. It's really there, you know? And it's like, man, I mean, the wins feel incredible. When you see the light in someone's eyes, when they reconnect with who they truly are, it is something you can't describe. It is so magical. And you know that you didn't do anything but be there with them for that. You know, it's not like you brought that about. You were just there to witness. And that's incredible. There's also times where you do get that phone call and it's brutal and it just, you have to be with it, let it recharge you and fuel you to keep fighting this fight. And so the reason I tell you all that is because I wish that someone had told me that of like, hey dude, like you're in it for all the right reasons. And just know that like sometimes it might feel like you're losing because you lose people. But it doesn't mean you're losing the war. That person may have lost that battle, but it doesn't mean you lost the war. And that, to me, is worth mentioning.
For sure. I think the only thing I would add on to that too, Jerem, which is, it's like, you know, we have experience of doing this, and just to agree with everything that Jeremy said, in no way do we think, right, are we trying to like scare you or anything, but the idea is like, when you think about your time in treatment, like what you're looking back at was your experience.
Yeah.
Like your personal journey there at Elevate. So I think what he's saying and what I'm saying too is, and not that this is good or bad, it just is.
Right.
That the experience you have on the other side is different.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's not good or bad, right? I can't like speak for everyone's experience. Obviously mine and Jeremy's and mine were great experiences and still are. But I guess the point is that it will be different. I can't tell you exactly how that it will be, but like basing, you know, like using your experience of being in treatment to, how do I say that? Like, it's not going to be the same as when you were a client. So how does that land with you?
I 100% am thankful that you guys brought it up. I agree. I'm glad it got talked about.
And you're ready.
I wish I didn't have these experiences have happened, but in a way, they're almost like,
there was a reason for them.
The blessing in disguise.
Yeah, there was a reason.
But
reason
that does
for
not
those.
mean that I will not. Something like that happening while I'm there won't be hard, and I think that's definitely a worry of mine. But at the same time, I'm very thankful to be prepared for it, as opposed to going in thinking like, okay, we're all good now, okay, and being more realistic about it. You know, it's not. I'm very aware that it's going to be tough and hard and more than just that aspect, but
But it's
I've
worth
been
it to you.
preparing myself that it's not going to be all rainbows and butterflies, and I'm ready.
I love
Awesome.
it. Well, I think with Rochelle on the team, those odds are about to get better.
That's right.
I hope so.
Yeah, we definitely need.
I want nothing more than that.
Yeah, the world needs more people that give a shit, and that are willing to take the L's to watch the wins.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I think Dal can hit you up offline on what to do next.
Yeah, I got you, Rochelle. Don't worry.
Awesome.
And for your interview, I might
thankful,
just send them
excited.
this episode.
Yeah, just send him this, dude.
I'll send Carolyn.
Go for
I'll
it.
send
Yeah.
Carolyn this episode. Be like, just listen to this, dude.
She's
Let me
good.
tell
Just
her
listen.
when to come in.
Yeah.
But yeah, Rochelle, I think I think we just wanted to explore it a little bit, just because as human beings we have blind spots, and
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not saying that you did or that we like uncovered any like crazy blind spots, and that's a good thing, right? But it is good to explore even good things, right? It's like pros and cons. Like even good decisions have cons, and even bad decisions have pros. So it's kind of that simple like datum of like, okay, like even though my heart says this is a good thing and objectively this is a good thing and it feels good, let's just make sure that it really is.
Let's double check. That's right.
Yeah, let's double check. And that's kind of, how it
Well, I'm
works in
thankful for
recovery
that.
too. Yeah, of
Good.
course. And I
Good.
think we are super stoked that you wrote in, and we're what's the word? I think the word is appreciative. Like we're very grateful for your support in the show, and I feel honored that during COVID, like these episodes have kind of been like your meeting, and that meant a lot to us. That fuels our fire that we're doing the right thing, and these intuitions we have to pick up these mics to say the things that we say, which we don't even know what it is half the time, has like a purpose, So
absolutely.
So we appreciate your feedback and your comments and your participation, and I'm super stoked on your recovery and your growth. I think that's just like a testament to like what happens when we pull our head out of our asses.
That's it.
We get to see a different view.
Amen.
And life doesn't stink.
Oh, I like that,
Yeah.
dude. Did you just make that up?
I just made that up.
Bro, that is a t-shirt.
That's a t-shirt, right?
At least a meme. Rochelle, thank you so much for calling in and listening to the show. I just want to second everything Dal just said. I'm super grateful too. And we're going to jump off now, but Dal is going to follow up with you off the air on what to do
I have your
next.
number, so don't worry.
And
Okay.
yeah, I'm just I'm really proud of you for doing this. And I think if we had like 50,000 more of you, we could win this war tomorrow.
For sure, we
Yeah.
could.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, you know anybody
thank
else
you
like
guys
you?
so much.
Yeah.
I don't
very
think the
welcome.
world could handle more of me.
That could be on a t-shirt too.
Yeah.
I extremely grateful for you guys, taking time to help me out with this, and
course.
for you guys in the podcast. And I love that I've been able to share it with people who have nothing to do with recovery, and I'm glad that they are still finding good in it as well, and they're using it as tools for their own different struggles that don't have to do with recovery. So I hear things, and I messaged my friend the other night and I said, you should listen to this. I'm listening to this episode right now, and I don't know if it's because I saw your name on my phone, but I thought of you, and I really think you should give it a listen. And I'm glad that I have people that are not in recovery that are giving it a chance, knowing with the background that I give them on YouTube that they're still gonna listen to it. And I'm extremely grateful for you guys and this podcast and your guys' platforms and how you're using it. And grateful doesn't even comprehend. So
Thank you so
Awesome.
much, Rochelle. And like I said, everyone's got problems. That's what me and Jeremy figured out. Is
Yeah.
everybody's got problems,
Yeah.
sober or not sober. So we're all just trying to figure out this game called life, and everyone needs a friend. Everyone needs support, and like I said, we all got blind spots, and we're here to just kind of help people see theirs.
Amen.
Yeah.
But Rochelle, I look forward to seeing you at Elevate Addiction Services in the near future.
I hope so.
You will. Yeah, you will. I have some merit there. My
Yeah,
word goes
he'll
a
put a word
decent
in for
amount.
you.
I'll put a word in. We'll get
Put
you
a
on
word
there.
in for the girl.
Yeah, watch it not work out. And there's this
Alrighty.
recording of me just looking like the world's biggest asshole.
Well, you guys freaking told me.
All right,
Oh, man.
Rochelle. Well, have a good night, okay?
Thank you. You too. Stay safe, you guys.
All right,
Thank
you too. We'll
And I'll-
talk soon.
Yeah, we'll talk super soon, Rochelle.
Okay.
Probably I'll get a hold of you
Okay,
by
cool.
tonight, okay?
Awesome.
There we
Looking forward
go.
to it.
Yeah, me too. Have a good night. Thanks for calling in.
You too.
All right,
Thank
we'll
you.
talk to you soon.
Okay, bye.
Yo.